Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 419. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for joining me here in this blogcast world. Today's episode is continuing on this little trend about Apple and tech and my computer, and it will end here. I mean, not forever, I'm sure. But at least for the foreseeable future, I will be done after this one talking about my laptop and Apple. And anyway. So if this is your first time here on the blogcast, welcome. I'm just going to say another couple words, and then I'm going to read you this blog, and then I'm going to play you a song. And that is how it goes. And I thank you for being here. And here is My Laptop is in Memphis. My guitar tuner ran out of battery recently, so I ordered a new one, popped out the old one, and replaced it. It took no time at all and cost me a couple of bucks. The battery in my laptop started to fail, so I took it to the Apple store as recommended and had them look at it. Yep, needs a new battery, they said. $249. But Apple devices are not designed for us to pop out the batteries and replace them. They designed these things so that they, and only they, can change them out. It's annoying, but okay. I expected to hand them my computer for an hour, maybe two, pay them the $249, and take home my device, newly empowered. Let me tell you, it did not turn out that way. The first shock was when they told me it would take 3 to 5 days. I thought that I'd just have to bring back my laptop in 3 to 5 days for another appointment, but no. It turns out I'd have to surrender my laptop for 3 to 5 days. They were going to send it out, but this was the best option because if they did it in-house, it would take 5 to 7 days. So, without any preparation, I surrendered my laptop and hoped for the best. The next morning, I got an email saying my computer had arrived at the repair center, and 5 hours later, it had been repaired, i.e. they put the new battery in. 2 hours after that, it had been shipped. Now, I assumed that they'd sent my computer to some warehouse in New Jersey, and shipping it back to the Grand Central Station Apple store where I'd left it would mean sticking it in a white van and driving it across the river. I thought I'd have it back in my hands in a couple of hours. The next day, after no further updates, almost 24 hours after the last one, I noticed that there was a FedEx tracking number that I hadn't seen before, so I clicked it. This is how I discovered that my laptop had been sent to Houston, Texas, for a battery change. For my international readers, let me help you understand how far away Houston, Texas is from where I live in New York City. It is approximately 1,418 miles, 2,281 kilometers away. It would take more than 30 hours to drive there. Houston is in a different time zone. This means that in order to change my laptop's battery, they put it on a plane, flew it approximately 1.5K miles away on a plane that burned something like 7,000 gallons of jet fuel on the trip. The FedEx tracker tells me my laptop is currently in Memphis, Tennessee, where it has been since 9:23 a.m. So they either put it on a truck and drove it the 568 miles from Houston, or put it on another plane. How will it travel the remaining 1,000 miles? Who can say? but it is expected at Grand Central sometime before noon tomorrow. I cannot believe that they flew my laptop over 1,000 miles to change the battery. What a colossal and flagrant waste of resources. We are in a climate emergency, and one of the biggest corporations in the world is burning gallons and gallons of fossil fuels to change a single battery? What the hell? Is there no one in New York City who could have changed a battery? Who thought this was a good idea? I guess I see why they're charging $249 for a battery. It costs at least that to travel so far. This all feels like an incredible example of in-shitification and the rot economy. Apple knows they have us over a barrel. They design their devices so we can't repair them ourselves or even change their batteries. They get us attached to them and make it hard to leave. I've had an Apple computer since the mid-90s. All my files, all my software is Apple-centric. I almost switched when I bought this laptop, the one currently languishing in Memphis 4 years ago, but couldn't face what it would mean to lose all my music files, my video files, etc. Apple reduced my storage on the laptop. They changed and reduced my input, so I had to buy extra equipment to just plug in a USB mic or mouse or anything. It just gets shittier and shittier. And now, to simply replace a battery, something with a known lifespan, I have to surrender my device 4 days at a time, reducing my ability to work, take care of tasks, support my creativity. To simply replace a battery, I unknowingly participated in a shamefully wasteful outlay of fossil fuels. And if I had decided to have someone besides the official Apple folks take care of this, I might have been penalized for unauthorized repairs. They're not even trying anymore, I think. They don't feel like they have to. And okay, if I lived somewhere far away from a tech hub, or I had some kind of highly specialized problem, I'd understand that you'd need to send my computer to Texas to fix it. But I live in New York City, and the only thing wrong with my laptop was an old battery. If you don't have enough staff in a major metropolitan area to be able to change a battery, you need to hire more staff. Or make your devices better so a battery change could be as easy as it is with almost every other object that uses them in the world. So rest assured, I do have my laptop back. I am currently recording this podcast on it. It is no longer in Memphis. It had a little stop off in Newark, New Jersey, before it finally arrived in New York the next day. Which means that this laptop, my little laptop, visited 3 states while it was away from me. At least, I don't even know. I mean, it's possible it stopped off other places, but that I know of. It was in Texas, Tennessee, and New Jersey. So my laptop was very well traveled without me. Poor thing. Anyway, it is resolved. It's fine. It's done. But it was a kind of a crazy weekend. And I still can't believe they sent it to Texas to change a battery. It is bananas. So I thought, okay, what song am I going to do? Well, this title is about my laptop being in Memphis. I thought maybe I should do a song about Memphis or featuring Memphis. I looked at a bunch of Memphis songs and nothing just grabbed me. So then I started to look at Houston, since my laptop was in Houston for the bulk of the time, I think. Although it may have been actually in transit for longer than it was in Houston. But of all the actual places it was in Houston, I think the longest, maybe. Anyway, there are just a lot of songs about Houston, apparently, which I was surprised. There are actually more about Houston than there are about Memphis. I would have thought it was the reverse. But I guess Memphis' time may have passed and Houston's may be arising. So There are probably many older songs about Memphis and newer songs about Houston, is my guess. I don't know. In any case, I was going all over the place for this one. I learned Texas Hold'em by Beyonce, which was a really fun song to like explore. I knew the minute I started messing around with it that it was not going to be the one. I learned a lot. It was a good time, but it was not going to happen. The other one I spent a bunch of time with is Houston, Dubai, which is a Vampire Weekend song. It was kind of a deep cut on a Japanese track, apparently. But on Spotify, everything is like, it's just flattened. So you don't know that it's a deep cut. It's just like a song available on Spotify, like all the other songs. In any case, that's the one I ended up recording. I played it for a while. But like this whole time I've been thinking, okay, I'm going to do Houston, Dubai. I'm working on Houston, Dubai. I'm practicing Houston, Dubai. And then today, like as I was sitting down to record, I thought, I kind of want to do this other Houston song that I hadn't even looked at. I hadn't even explored the chords. It was just like in my playlist of songs that I was considering for this blog. And it came after Houston, Dubai. So I'd heard it a bunch of times, but I really hadn't considered it at all. And then all of a sudden I was like, I should do that song. I feel excited about that song. And that song was, it's a Luke Combs song called Houston, We Got a Problem, which I'm suddenly a huge fan of. I don't know what happened. I just suddenly, I woke up with it in my head a couple mornings and it just called to me all of a sudden. So I did look at it. I did play through it a couple of times and it is a delight. I'm not going to lie. But I would need a lot more time with it before I can really do it justice. So for a minute, I was like, should I do 2 songs on this podcast today? And no, I shouldn't. But I will save it for maybe a time when like I don't have a perfect song and this is going to be in the dugout, just it's going to be ready to go for another time. Instead, with pleasure, I'm going to offer you Houston, Dubai, which is a very odd little song. I looked up, like, what's going on with this song? Like, did Vampire Weekend have, like, a big career in Dubai that they were flying back and forth between Houston and Dubai? And apparently not. Apparently they actually have never performed in Dubai, and that this song has, like, a narrative of, there's some theories that it's, like, about an oil man traveling between Houston and Dubai, since both of those are sort of oil country. So maybe it's about that. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are very mysterious about this song, but that's kind of fun, I think. But also it felt really appropriate for this particular blog because there is this sense of like, it's really about being in transit. So flying to Dubai and back to Houston. And that's what my laptop was doing. It was flying all over the place. I feel like I should be grateful, in fact, that it didn't go all the way to Dubai. Just to Houston it went to. Anyway, I'm going to play you Houston, Dubai in just a moment. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please tell someone about it. Like, review, subscribe in whatever app you're in or wherever you go. Or you could just like take a tour of all of them and just go on a liking, clicking, subscribing spree. I don't know. And if you'd like to support the podcast, that would be amazing. There are multiple ways to do that. The best choice is patreon.com/Emily R. Davis. That's where the real support happens. And there's also PayPal. There's Ko-fi. And if you would like to do Substack, you can do that also. There's sort of paid subscriptions you can do on Substack. Or if you have a place that you like to support artists, let me know what it is and I'll join. And mostly thank you to all of you who are listening. I am very grateful that you're here with me. And I'm going to give you now Houston, Dubai. And Enjoy. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. The country's young, but the land is deep. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. I just wanna wake up where I went to sleep. As this old world keeps turning me through my fever dream. Houston just did 99, Dubai's 118. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. The country's young, but the land is deep. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. I just wanna wake up where I went to sleep. I got a wife back home, you know, she always thinks I cheat. Think about those Denton days when life was light and sweet. Every time I think I'm done, the plane keeps flying back. And every race beneath the sun just takes another lap. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. The country's young, but the land is deep. Houston, Dubai, Dubai to Houston. I just wanna wake up where I went to sleep. I know the price, I know the map, but don't know what it's worth. So let the thieves and killers take my treasure on the earth. Houston, goodbye, goodbye to Houston. The country's young, but the land is deep. Houston, goodbye, goodbye to Houston. Now I'm gonna wake up where I went to sleep.